Hello, welcome back to Cosmopolitanism Today. I'm Jennifer Cochran, and we have a very exciting show lined up for you.
Chrissy S. Shu here, ready for an exciting recap of an interview with a very special guest. So, without further ado, let's get started.
So for all of you new to our show, we will briefly explain what cosmopolitanism means and why it is such an important discussion topic. Kwame Anthony Appiah, the author of Cosmopolitanism, says that cosmopolitanism is defined as the ideology that all humans have a responsibility to each other. Cosmopolitanism is often compared to a shattered mirror, and each of us watching, including myself, represent one shard of glass. In order for our mirror to be reflective of each other, we need to bring our differences together and be willing to accept and understand each other's cultures and beliefs. To quote Appiah, he says that if you're embodying the ideology of cosmopolitanism, you recognize that there are parts of the truth everywhere and the whole truth is nowhere. Based on your local culture, you may be more biased toward certain things or lean toward what is comfortable. Being cosmopolitan is being human with a more open mindset and understanding. Cosmopolitanism is about being a thinker and a person who indulges in self-discovery and reflection. It does not simply rely on your upbringing and the beliefs that tag along with that.
Jennifer and I had the opportunity to interview Oprah Winfrey, who is a wonderful example of someone who embodies the cosmopolitan ideals. We will be sharing her thoughts and experiences taken from a recent interview. The following is a post-interview summary of Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954 in a poverty-stricken area of Kosciuszko, Mississippi. Her childhood was spent in numerous economically disadvantaged neighborhoods. Due to her ability to read and write by the age of 3, and promoted several grades ahead of her age. In high school, Oprah was elected school president and won many academic awards. She was offered a scholarship to Tennessee State, and this is where she was offered her first co-anchor job with CBS. Since then, she has been nominated for an Academy Award and has run her own talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, for 25 years. She now dedicates her life to humanitarian work, building schools around the world to support children and education.
We had an opportunity to interview Oprah Winfrey. These were the questions we asked and the answers we received. What events about your childhood influenced your work as a global citizen? Oprah responded by saying, I was born into poverty in a rural town in Mississippi. My parents were not married and split up shortly after my birth. I went to live with my maternal grandmother, who taught me how to read by the time I was 2.5 years old. I skipped kindergarten and went to 3rd grade straight after. At 6 years old, I went to live with my mother again in the ghetto of Milwaukee in an extremely poor and dangerous neighborhood. At age 12, I went to live with my father in Tennessee, and this is around the time my life began to change. I was surrounded by structure, guidance, and lots of books. Reading gave me hope. It showed me there were possibilities in life. These experiences grounded my desire to help others around the world, especially children.
We talked to Oprah about the first strand of cosmopolitanism, which is recognizing our responsibility for every human being. This is her thoughts on it. She said that she agreed with that. She said in December of 2011, she had the opportunity to visit Haiti with a charitable mission. She was able to help millions of Haitians who had become homeless after the earthquake the year before. It was very important to her to share with the rest of the world what was going on there. This was a profound example of what we as global citizens can do to make a difference in the world, she told us. We are all part of a single community.
In Appiah's text about cosmopolitanism, he quotes Burton's Haji Abdu when he said, There is no good, there is no bad, these are the whims of mortal will. When speaking with Oprah, we asked for her thoughts on this statement, and this is what she had to say. This is a tricky question to address. I suppose your upbringing plays a role in how you portray good and bad, but everyone has a different perception of good and bad based on that upbringing. In my family, I grew up aware that stealing was bad, but if you have no food in your home and need to survive, stealing is not so bad, but more good for your survival. I believe that people need to reflect on themselves when they get older and make their own distinctions of what is good and what is bad. So, to answer your question, I suppose I agree with the statement. There is really no good or bad. It is truly based on mortal will and what we find acceptable within our culture and ourselves.
We talked to Oprah about her many outreach projects that she has done in other countries. We asked her if these projects reflect her core values, and are these projects how she shares her values with others. She said, being able to raise delicate topics while respecting differences in values, cultures, and beliefs is very important. I am in a position that allows me to motivate others to do the same without being didactic. The projects and organizations I am involved in and support